Good evening. This is Tammy, your concierge and CEO at Singles Travel International and Single Life Today. And tonight we are super excited to present our Canadian Rockies Singles Train Adventure, which is coming up in May of 2022. We have a special guest tonight. His name is Jeff Caesar. He is our representative. He's a business development manager. That means he's an expert on the Rocky Mountaineer train rides. He's traveled throughout these places. He's brought us some beautiful pictures, and he's going to tell us all about the program that we have in May. But we'll also do questions and answers, whether you want a question pops up in your head while you're listening to the presentation, no problem, speak up. And we'll also do questions and answers at the end. Sometimes it takes a minute for all these things to sink in. And I wanted to show you guys over here on my left side, I'm wearing a button and it says, "Thanks for traveling." Well, I dug this out of my storage room in my office recently. I got this, I don't even know where, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, but I'm going to tell you, it is so appropriate right now. I just want to say thanks for traveling. For those of you who are already booked on this vacation, who have trusted us throughout this last year, because we have been traveling, we've been doing it safely and following all the safety protocols that we were required to do. We just want to thank you. And it's a slow crawl, but I would say that this last couple of weeks, I've seen some major movement forward, and it looks like the day of cancellations is over. I'm going to claim it right here tonight, you guys. I think the day of cancellations is over. So we want to be safe, and we're going to travel. And I'm going to turn this over to Jeff Caesar right now from Rocky Mountaineer. Jeff, thank you for joining us tonight. And we are so excited to hear all about this beautiful destination, which is just across the border. You're our neighbors. And I'm sorry, unfortunately, as Americans, as North Americans in the USA, sometimes we don't even know a whole lot about Canada, embarrassingly so. Maybe some of our viewers here tonight actually know more than the rest of us, but it's been my experience that for neighbors, we're pretty ill-informed. So we're looking forward to find out more about you guys and what you have to offer us.
Well, thank you so much, Tammy. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Whether you're watching this live, I can't thank you all enough for your time this evening, or you're watching this at another time that works best for you. We really do appreciate it. Honestly, this is a trip of a lifetime that Tammy has put together for you all, and she really thought of everything. So please, by all means, if you have any other questions, we'll have some time after this, but also we can definitely address those anytime. Just reach out to her. She's an expert, not only with type of luxury travel, but she's been an incredible creator of such life-changing experiences on, river cruise, ocean cruise, all over the place. And so, working with a person who's this incredible background of experience is just, it's amazing. So Tammy, thank you for thinking of us and allowing me to come and do this quick little presentation on this amazing journey. So just so you're all aware, I've been with the company now coming up to 8 years, and thankfully since COVID has started, we have been operating in Canada, what we're going to be talking about tonight, since July. And they've also opened the border to all US citizens. You must be fully vaccinated to be able to get into the border, but it keeps everyone safe and less risk and everything. And I do believe, and I'm telling you right now, the demand that we see for 2022 is very, very strong. I also want to be very candid and transparent. We already have several who are joining us this evening, and others who are going to probably watch us later on at Time That Works Best, who have already signed up for this great trip taking place May 13th through the 21st. So 8 nights up in the Canadian Rockies. And we only have, I believe, 10 spots left. So just throwing it out there is, once they're gone, they're gone. There's no way we're gonna be able to get space back. We're close to 90% at capacity for the 2022 season. That's the demand that we're seeing. So it's extremely strong. But without further ado, let's get into exactly what we're all about and where we're taking you. What I think is also best when it comes to a presentation like this is going day by day in chronological order, talking about the hotels, talking about the tours, getting down to the details. So hopefully those questions you do have will be answered throughout the next 25 minutes. And also, if you can, make sure that you are muted, just because I'm not able to actually do that. But if you can, just so I don't have any background noise, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So who are we? We've been operating for 31 years. In 2022, it will be 32 years. We are a luxury, fine dining, seamless travel experience where you'll never sleep on board. You stay in hotels every night, because if you're sleeping, you're missing the sights, the scenery, the wildlife, the wilderness that the Canadian Rockies have to offer. And like I said before, Tammy has thought of everything. So this trip is set for you if you decide to go during May, which is one of my, honestly, it'd be my #1 favorite time to go up in Canada. And I'll tell you those reasons in just a little bit. When it comes to where we're located, the route that we're going to be going on is the Red Route. We're going to be starting in Vancouver, the Dark Diamond, Vancouver, heading eastbound, which is, I think, a really climatic way, because when you head east, the hills become mountains, the mountains become glaciers, and the wildlife just gets more abundant. And so you get the best as you continuing heading over to Calgary, where we'll be spending a night, 2 nights, I believe, in Banff. And then you also have a stopover in Lake Louise to be able to experience that. The other routes you see on your screen here, there's a green route, that's the Rainforest or Gold Rush route, a blue route, which is our journey through the clouds. Those both routes take you up to Jasper. That dotted green line between Jasper, Lake Louise, and Banff is the Columbia Icefield Parkway, been voted the most scenic highway in the world. If these dates don't work for you, or you would like to do something, perhaps that includes Jasper, because I know that Linda before was saying that she would love to experience that place. And Jasper, so you're aware, is it's a small town, even smaller than Banff, but really beautiful with Rocky Mountains all around it. And it's just very picturesque, and some great wildlife up there too to experience. So perhaps a future opportunity to do maybe even a round trip where you'll do more time on the train, 5 days. We can call it the Grand Rail Circle, 7 nights in the Canadian Rockies. And that will include all the major places to see, and something we can maybe discuss for 2023 if possible. But this trip really has, from beginning to end, something for you every single day. So let's get started. Starting on May 13th, you're going to fly into Vancouver. And we're going to have you get to your hotel, and you're going to have check-in, a meet and greet dinner. So you'll be able to get to know everyone who's traveling with your group that evening at your hotel. And you will be going to a local restaurant in the downtown area. Next day you wake up, you will be able to do a nice tour, taking you over to all the outlining area of what Vancouver has to offer, doing the Grouse Mountain cable car, going over to the North Shore, doing the Capilano Suspension Bridge, which you have right in front of you right here. So a nice tour, also including Chinatown, Gastown, Granville Island. This is a great way to see the sights and scenery of not only the downtown area, which you'll have time to explore, but also the incredible sights around the outlying area, which I think is just equally breathtakingly beautiful. Following that, you'll have another night and a full day to enjoy Vancouver, where you're going to be doing the next day a boat cruise on the Indian Arm, which is a beautiful place nestled right into the coast of Vancouver, heading up. This would be a great opportunity to see hopefully some dolphins, maybe some seals. They're all up in this area. You'll have a full luncheon on this entire boat ride of yours, and then returning back where you'll have the evening available to enjoy once again at your own leisure in incredible downtown Vancouver.
Hey, Jeff, I want to intersperse a little something, because you went over that first slide was jam-packed. Like Granville Island is an amazing place for shopping and eating. We're going to have a lot of fun there. And Linda is going to be our concierge for this, for those of you who have cruised or traveled with Linda. And that Capilano Suspension Bridge, that's a scary bridge.
It's 400 feet across, 450 feet. Excuse me. It's pretty high up and pretty cool.
And it's something like these are all things that are, iconic of Vancouver, and they're unique and special. And so I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there, because I've had the chance to be there, and you guys will be with Linda, our concierge. So we've got all these things planned, and then we'll have some free time, and she'll be able to accommodate all of our, our dining and all the extra special things that we want to do that make the trip, just kind of custom for each one of us. So thanks for that, Jeff. Those are beautiful pictures, but they're also super meaningful. Like, you're going to want to do this when you go to Vancouver.
Totally agree. And thank you for interrupting and definitely sharing that, because I want you to. If there's anything you can add to this, please do. I personally haven't yet experienced the Capilano Suspension Bridge or the cable car. I've gone to the North Shore before. So I don't have that personal experience that you do. And that's why you're in honestly the best hands ever by
Right.
working
I'm
with Tammy.
challenging you the next time you're up there to do that bridge.
I've done our train trip now approaching 10 times. So that I've got really well covered. When you see when we get to those slides and the class of service and everything, it's
All
easy
right.
breezy. So great call, and thank you again. Please feel free to bring up any 2 cents you have as we continue. Then we're going to be picking you up. And when it comes to luggage, we don't want you to burn any calories along your whole entire trip. So we will handle luggage for you. We will actually be taking and putting on a truck. The only thing you need to bring on the train with you is your camera, camcorder, wallet, cell phone, purse, ID, medication. Keep it light and keep it simple. And then when you get to places like KAMLOOPS, that's your first stop along the way, and we'll talk about KAMLOOPS in a little bit, you will for one, to minimize the calories you're burning, we're going to handle, once again, the luggage from beginning to end. And so before you even get off the train, we're going to give you your hotel room key. You've already been checked into the hotel. You'll hop off the train, head over to a bus, head over to your hotel and find your room. Inside your room, your luggage will be waiting for you next to your bed. Next day when you wake up, in order to once again minimize those calories, we ask you to leave your luggage exactly how you found it, next to your bed. You'll see it at the next destination. A true seamless transition, which I think is the best way of going. And so the train here boards around 9 a.m., arriving between 5 and 6:30 p.m. in KAMLOOPS. Next day, also boarding at 9 a.m. and arriving at around Lake Louise between 5 and 6:30. So our average train speed is only 30 miles an hour. We slow down to less than 5 miles an hour for all the bridges, the waterfalls, the wildlife, and the wilderness. That way, we call it Kodak speed. You know, great opportunities to definitely take great footage, video, pictures along your whole entire way. And so also our suspension on our train cars is $1 million per train car, just the suspension side. And so it's very smooth. Those who have any motion sickness or even vertigo hardly ever feel any symptoms whatsoever because of how smooth it is. There's no seat belts. It's an amazing way to travel. And you'll see exactly the different train cars that we're using throughout your experience on here in just a second. Another big thing that Tammy has is great videos, 1 to 2 minute videos on every single route, including the first passage to the west. 1 or 2 minute videos on all of our service levels, 1 or 2 minutes videos on the places we're taking you to. So if you haven't seen those, definitely check out her website, or you can email her and she'll be able to share with you everything that I'm referencing. The class of service we're utilizing is Silverleaf, and this is an incredible brand new car. It was completely refurbished and built in 2019. We had to suspend our operations in 2020, so these are in pristine quality. You have, it's a single-story car, panoramic views with an arched window at the top. You have an outdoor vestibule area on all these train cars that holds around 6 people comfortably. Go outside anytime you like, breathing in, soaking in the scenery as it passes by, breathe in that fresh mountain air. On board, you have 2 to 3 hosts or hostesses who are going to handle all the history, the cultural facts, storytelling, and jokes, keeping you entertained, aware, and up to date of everything coming up ahead. You have all-inclusive alcohol. It's going to be delivered to your seat. So everything on the train, just so you're aware, is completely all-inclusive from beginning to end. You'll be having breakfast and lunch served on both of these days between 9 and, say, 6 p.m. to be average, if you will, on time frame. And the food here is plated and delivered at your seat. You're looking at 1 to 2 appetizer options, 2 to 3 entree options, and a dessert option that changes daily for breakfast and lunch while on board. Now, when it comes to the wildlife that you'll be seeing in May, this is one of the reasons why I love traveling in the springtime, because hibernation has just ended, and statistically, there's more wildlife at this time than any other time throughout the entire season. So you're looking for the brown, grizzly, black bears, the moose, elk, deer, coyotes, bighorn sheep. They're all going to be out and definitely in abundance, especially as you move eastbound, getting closer to the Canadian Rockies. Another big difference between us and other trains out there, on top of the speed, on the fact that we never sleep on board, you're staying in hotels, would also be the fact that the train tracks we are using, no other passenger train is allowed to use these. We're the only passenger train. There's other trains out there like Amtrak or Via Rail. They go on a separate train tracks. We're the only train allowed to go by some of the most incredible bridges, through some of the most, by amazing waterfalls, even through the spiral tunnels, which you will experience on this route. If you haven't heard of the spiral tunnels, it's about a minute-long story. So it's really cool. Back in the 1900s, They were completing the train tracks from east to west, and they had the Rocky Mountains to navigate through. So what they did is build a series of tunnels in a more of a figure-8 style, as it would go into the Rocky Mountains itself with tunnels and spiral inside the mountain and coming out at 500 to 750 foot depth differences. And so we're the only train in the world that carries passengers allowed to go through these spiral tunnels. And so where most people are looking at the spiral tunnels, and you'll have this opportunity too, because it's part of your tour out after the train, and I'll talk to that. You go and see the bottom of these Rocky Mountains looking up and seeing the trains go and scale on the tops of these cliffs. Rocky Mountaineer is the only train that's allowed to go to the tops of these cliffs, if you will, and have views that are somewhat over 2,000 feet on both sides, on bridges and stuff, looking down. So it's really incredible to get to the top and be near the, the clouds, if you will. But that's what you're going to be experiencing if you do this 2-day amazing route called the First Passage to the West. You'll be arriving in KAMLOOPS between 5 and 6:30 p.m. This is the only place that you do not have a hotel assigned just yet. It will be assigned 30 to 45 days prior to your departure. And KAMLOOPS itself is a nice town nestled between Vancouver and the Canadian Rockies. It's got a series of different hotels. They're all 3-star properties. We don't work with any hotels other than 3 stars and above, but there's no 5-star or even 4-star hotels here, just to be quite honest with you. It's 3 stars is pretty much the max that goes in this little town. You can cover it by walking in about 2 blocks, maybe an hour. And before you even get off the train, all the hosts are going to give you a map of downtown KAMLOOPS, a reference key of all the restaurants there. So if you want to have dinner, if you're hungry, my favorite choice would be the Blind Pig. It's in the heart of downtown. It's a brewery as well as a great local cuisine. Another great thing to do in KAMLOOPS while you're there, the sunsets are breathtakingly beautiful, like pink, violet, purple, orange colors every night, especially in the springtime. And the best place to see it would be at the park, which is right next to the river, next to downtown. It's a block away from the main downtown strip, and you can easily get there. It doesn't take much at all, and the park is beautiful, and it's just a great little viewpoint with the water and how the mountains. And you notice the topography here is very dry. It's not as wooded or even Rocky Mountain like that you'll get into later on the next day as you continue east, but it actually can get very hot in the summer, reaching average temperatures of over 110 degrees. So very unique topography, very dry, very arid, almost like a desert. But a lot of bighorn sheep in this area. You're also going to find even some perhaps coyotes and lots of bald eagles. So lots of cool things to see in KAMLOOPS. Next day, board the train at around 9, and then arriving in Lake Louise at around 5 to 6 p.m. The motor coaches you'll be utilizing are operated by Brewster. We're not using yellow buses or Greyhound buses. These are a fleet of motor coaches that were also refurbished throughout 2018 and 2019. So they are in also pristine quality. Leather seats throughout, TVs on all the coaches so you can see what the driver's seeing up ahead. You have a drink station on board to stay well hydrated. Of course, a restroom, because when you drink too much, you know what you may have to do. And you'll have a tour guide on there telling you what's coming up ahead, what's outside your window, answering any questions you may have from beginning to end. Here, you're going to first go over to Banff and spend the night in Banff. And the next day from here, you're going to be doing a nice full tour of the Yoho National Park. You're going to be, I just want to make sure I'm saying this correct, board Rocky Mountaineer, 7:30. Not making sure I'm not missing anything here. KAMLOOPS, travel across, remarkable, blah, blah. So, and the next day depart for the Yoho National Parks, exactly. Spiral tunnels is where you're going to be. By the way, in Banff, you're staying at the Caribou Lodge and Suites. And so I will talk to that in just a second here. But on your first day, after getting off the train, once again, a full day tour into Yoho National Parks. You're going to be going to see the spiral tunnels, but this way from an actual standpoint, the bottom of the mountain, looking up and seeing what you did the other day on the train, which is kind of cool. You're going to be going to Emerald Lake and the Emerald Lake Lodge over there. You'll be seeing the Natural Rock Bridge, which is pretty cool, and there's some great waterfalls in that area. Going to see the Kicking Horse River, which you have been traveling down, and then finally heading over to beautiful Lake Louise, which is another Emerald Lake, a glacier in the background. You have the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise right behind it. So you'll have some time to get some beautiful pictures here, see this beautiful area of Lake Louise, and then in the evening, returning to the Banff Hotel. And that will be once again the Caribou Lodge and Spa. And this is Banff. Banff is a town that is just amazing. You're spending a couple of nights here, which is great. Downtown Banff is about 2 to 3 blocks in length. There's 30 to 40 restaurants all within walking distance. Your hotel is literally straight ahead. It's not the hotel you're seeing that's at the end of the road. It's the hotel two hotels down from there, about 2 blocks away. And you can use your room key for a free shuttle to take you to and from downtown Banff back to your hotel. You can also walk it. It's not a bad walk at all, especially in May. And I'll talk about temperatures in a little bit, I promise. But here it's a full service spa. The location's perfect. And really, you're going to have so much things to do and see in Banff. I think Linda, who's been there, can probably tell you how amazingly beautiful it is. So a nice, great day to enjoy a full day of leisure here in Banff on another day. And then, so it's 1, 2, it's actually, I believe, almost 3 nights here in Banff, which is quite a lot. Next day, you're going to be doing some touring around Banff before you head over to Calgary. The touring starts with the gondola ride, which is on the bottom right picture, taking you to the top of Sulphur Mountain. And so even though it might be in the 70s, and I didn't even get to that, but I'm letting the cat out of the bag on the ground level, it could be in the 50s or 40s, maybe even snow on top of Sulphur Mountain. So layers, I think, is really encouraged. On the bottom left picture, you have a lot of specialty shopping here that you only can find in Banff, which is really cool. The top picture is actually the hot springs that are also in Banff. Another thing to do on your full day of leisure if you'd like. So another really cool thing. There's also caves. There's lots of other things to do in downtown. There's a whole museum at the end of the other block, if you're where that picture was taken, on this right here, the other side of it. And that's looking at Mount Grundle right there in front of you. So beautiful, beautiful area. So you're doing this full day sightseeing tour with a gondola ride. After that, you're going to go to some other unique points outside of the Banff area. Bow Falls, the Hoodoos, which is some unique topography in the mountain ranges. Even another lake that's just breathtakingly beautiful. And these lakes, the water gets so still that you're able to really capture those mountain ranges in the background and just have that reflect off the water. It makes the most beautiful pictures. And then finally, as you're on your way over to Calgary, you'll be stopping in the Heritage Museum. It's a 127-acre attraction, and it's the largest living history museum in Canada. Everyone dresses the part. You really get to you see what it was like back in the day, which I think is really fantastic, from the gasoline alley and everything else. There's wagon rides and everything you can do. So you'll have some time here to experience this whole attraction, which is going to be wonderful. And then you're continuing on over to your Calgary hotel, where there will be dinner this evening for you at the Delta Calgary Tower. At the hotel in Calgary. I'm going to double check actually real quick at the end of this of which hotel you're at in Calgary, because I should be able to pull that up. Next day you're waking up, you're going to have your goodbyes at breakfast, and then you'll be heading on back to the airport. Unless you are the premium members, then you'll be doing a one-night post package here in Calgary. Calgary is known for its barbecue food. So if you're into barbecue food, you're going to be staying in one of the hotels that's located in the heart of downtown. The barbecue restaurants are in the heart of downtown. Incredible, incredible food, to say the least. The springtime is going to bring you weather between the 70s in the day, 60s at night, maybe 50s, depending on how high in altitude you are at certain places. But you're looking at snow-covered mountains, ice on the lakes that will be melting. By the time you're at the end of May 19th, May 18th, 17th in Lake Louise, I doubt it's going to be frozen on Lake Louise. I've been there in April and it's already starting to melt, but hey, I can't control nature, so you'll get to see what it is. But usually that's still that really cool blue tint that's formed by the glacier silt will come through whether there's ice or no ice. And so that emerald color really strikes out. And once again, it's known for its statistically wildlife sightings during the springtime, which I think is amazing. Finally, just to offer some peace of mind, we are privately owned, operating once again for coming up to 32 years. We've expanded into the U.S., now offering a route between the U.S. Rockies and Moab, Utah, now doing tours and sightseeing throughout the Grand Canyon, Bryce, Zion, the Arches, Canyonlands. This all started in 2021, in August of this year. So we're growing. We've been operating for many years. TripAdvisor, a place where people spew hate and anger and negative feedback. We've been given, out of a 5, a score of 0 to 5, a 4.5 or higher for the past 31 years, maintaining a certificate of excellence for customer service. National Geographic has given us best train trip to take for the past several years in a row. We have more awards and accolades than the Orient Express. So please rest assured that whether you travel with us on this amazing trip that Tammy really put together and thought of everything, or you choose another time, or we put another trip together later in the future, or you want to go to the US route or see Jasper, whatever it may be, definitely do connect with Tammy, because she is an expert, especially with this type of a vacation. And I would say it's really going to be a trip of a lifetime, and you have no regrets. It's going to be incredible. And so I hope this helped answer many questions you may have. I would love to turn the screen over to Tammy. I'm just going to double check the hotels for us real quick while she takes over the screen and goes through the booking process for locking your space in. Because remember, there's only 10 seats left. Once they're gone, they're gone. So just being real and honest. Tammy, over to you.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. You're a fast talker.
Well, I promised this would be no more than 30 minutes, and I got to 28, 29.
All right. So guys, really, if you have some questions, we'll do that in a minute. I just want to show you before I stop the video, and then we can go to some questions and answers. How do you find this trip on our website? So I'm at singlestravelintl.com. I clicked on the word tours here at the top. You guys can see all that. And then scrolling down to, you could either click on destinations and look under USA. Oh, not Canada. Sorry, not USA. Canada. And then hit find trips, or just scroll down. So I'm going to click on the learn more button. That's where you're going to see what's included, the itinerary, frequently asked questions. You get to see who's going. That's something unique on Singles Travel International on our website. You can actually see everybody who's going on the trip before you even commit. And then once you do book that trip, we have a trip chat so that all of our members who are on that vacation get to talk to each other in privacy. And it's only a conversation from among those of you who are on the same trip. So on the trip page here, you get to see what's available for premium members. And we alluded to that. Premium members, we always pay less for your own space with Singles Travel International. Why do we do that? Because you guys told us a couple of years ago, when we tried to do a loyalty program, when we gave you trinkets, 75% of our members said, give us the money, show us the money. So we created the premium membership, and now that's what we're doing. So you get a benefit when you're a premium member, you save on your own space, and then we're also including that free night in Calgary. So that's listed at the top. And if you click book now, you get to see all the different pricing structures. There's, we do have shares. Some of our members are still sharing, and we will match you as long as you book and pay in full before the final payment date. For those of you that want your own space, which are the majority right now, you can see the difference between the single and the share with Singles Travel International is not that much more if you're a premium member. So premiums pay $58.59, non-premiums $63.69. That's a no-brainer. The membership's only $397 for the year, so it makes a lot of sense. So if you want to book this vacation and you're not on it, here's where you're going to do it. Click on tours, and then Canadian Rockies, and book now. Easy breezy.
Tammy, may I interject real quick?
Yeah.
So the Georgian Court, which is an incredible 4-star boutique hotel, great location. It's honestly very close to the whole Rogers Arena, the BC Place Stadium, the Robson Street, and literally a couple blocks away from Gastown. That's where you're staying in Vancouver. Every single day you have breakfast included. It's the most important meal of the day, and breakfasts are included on every single day. Several nights in Banff, which is great. Also staying in just the Banff Caribou Lodge and Spa. Their spa is so cool. It's got a almost like a grotto-esque with lots of rock wall, rock formations, and a nice hot tub area at the bottom. And you have group photography set up, so you'll be having a nice group picture at the Lake Louise. You also have a full lunch luncheon at the Heritage Park Historical Village on the way to Calgary, which I didn't mention before. And I was correct in assuming it was the Delta Calgary Downtown Hotel. And so that's in the heart of downtown, literally right outside of your hotel. You have lots of restaurants all on that same street right there. So Delta Calgary, Georgian Court, and the BANFF Caribou Lodge and Spa. And so just wanted to add that.
Thank you, Jeff. And I actually located a place on the website. Looks like Vicki had that in there. There's links to the hotels if you guys want to check out the hotel websites directly to get some more information. And we are very excited about this program. I mean, it's the first time we've done it. We've wanted to do it. And I'll tell you why we haven't done it before, because none of the rail companies would give us overnight train accommodations for singles. So the Rocky Mountaineer was the perfect solution, because we're not staying overnight on the train. We get a chance to accommodate our singles who want to have their own accommodations. So we're really pleased about this being a resolution from a challenge that we've had for many, many years. So what I would like to do at this time was, I'm just going to say good night to those of you who might be watching this video on YouTube in the future. Thank you for joining us. Book, if you're single and over 50 and you love to travel, visit our website at www.singlestravelintl.com. Please subscribe to our station, and we look forward to meeting you in the future.